Hey guys, it's Meg. I am here this week with a new video for you. This is going to be our standard tarot reading, so if you guys want to get a message from the cards, please come on in, have a seat, and we'll get started in a moment. Just a few quick things before we get to our cards. Number one, if you like what you see in the video, please go ahead and click the like, subscribe, and the bell buttons. That way you can stay in the loop for when I post new work. I enjoy making these videos for you guys, and it lets me know that you want to see more from me. If you guys want to get in touch with me outside of YouTube, you totally can. I've listed all of my social media links in the description, as well as a list of the decks I'm using for this reading. And also, I have time-stamped this reading as well, so if you want to skip around, you totally can. There is a bonus reading at the end of the video as well, so if you find that the main reading gets too long, just skip over, totally fine. All of those, like I just said, are in the description. So, hi, how are you? I'm doing good. For those of you that are new here, I am Meg. I do these readings for you every week. And normally we start off with some oracle cards and then we get into our tarot. And I do that so we can get a complete picture of what's going on in our energetic space. Okay. Also, before we get too far, I am available for commissions and private readings. If you're interested in that, the link to my tip jar and commissions page is right here. Please consider it. If you can't do that, it's totally fine. I'm happy to help where I can. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comments and I'll get to them as I can. Okay. So enough of me rambling. Let's get to our cards and see what's going on. Okay. Let's start with our main energy here. Okay. Right. We have the white owl. Okay. There's our white owl. Okay. Have our white owl. Okay. We have rhodochrosite, which says, remember your worth. I love rhodochrosite. Okay. Remember your worth. Okay. We have creative writing, which says, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen an article or book. Okay. I like this is coming up. Okay. There's creative writing. Okay. And we have the pearl, which represents alchemy, the reward at the end, and from grit to grace. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm getting the sense that there's a lot of creative types in this reading right now, just simply because we have this creative writing card here. Maybe you are a novelist, just a writer in general. This is speaking to me because I love writing. I am a writer at my heart, and maybe you are as well. Okay. But right now it feels just again going on this creative writing card here. There's a lot of creative energy going on right now. Whether you write, whether you're a visual artist, whether you're a performing artist, whether it doesn't matter the medium that you're creating in. The fact that you're creating at all is important to this, and it will be important, I think, in the tarot. So let's kind of latch on to this creative energy here. Okay, now how are the rest of the cards working with that? Well, there's it feels like there's a lot of energies coming together to support this creativity right now. Remember that we have with the pearl energy, we have this alchemy card. Um, it also feels like it's been kind of a hustle. You know, you have to do. There's a lot going on at once, for basically. Um, all of that's great. All of that's good. All of that's important because this is giving you the energy to move. But I'm also sensing on the flip side of that that you're wondering you're wondering whether or not you have the right or the capability to even show up in this energy. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of questioning and self-doubt about like, oh, I'm experiencing this and I want to do all of this, but everybody's going to see that I'm a fraud. Everybody's going to see that I'm a hack. Actually, let's pause that for a little bit here, okay? Because you're have this rhodochrosite card here, and it suggests that you are worthy and you are capable of standing in this energy right now. Okay, even if you don't know what you're doing, even if you don't know what you are trying to create, you're still experiencing this energy, and um, you still have the right to stand in this energy. Okay, you have the right to stand in this energy because you're worthy of this period of time. Okay, you've always been worthy of your creative energy. Okay, and I think there are people who will try and cloud that. You know, the people. Some of this imposter syndrome is coming from outside sources. So people are telling you like, oh, well, are you sure you can do that? You don't really have the training for this. You don't know what you're doing here. Shut it out. Shut it out. It's okay. It's okay because, yes, you do have what it takes and you do have the right to stand in this creativity right now. Okay. The reason I say that is because part of your capability, part of your ability for this creativity is seeing through the clouds, seeing through the darkness. Okay. I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to get the moon card out of our tarot. Be neat if it did. But with this white owl card, excuse me, this white owl card suggests to me that you have the ability to see the darkness and be willing to explore it. Okay, as uncomfortable and weird as that might feel, okay, you have a vision for your creativity and you want to make it go a certain direction. Well, you have that. You see that path, okay, and you're willing to explore the darkness even when people are saying actually no, you shouldn't. Okay, the way is not clear. Okay, it's not clear to these other people. It's not clear to these people, but it's clear to you, and you're willing to take the stumble. You're willing to fall on your face if you trip over something, whatever the stumbling block is. You're willing to go for it because you see your creativity, you see your goal, you see this creative energy working for you in a certain way, and you're willing to try and move it in that direction. Okay. So that was our oracle. Let's see what we need to see from our tarot. Let's get into our tarot. Okay. The way we're going to do this, I'm going to continue with the main energy, but I also think we should look at the hidden energy and then clarify what we're seeing. So let's do that. And also our bonus reading is happening, so stay tuned. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we need to see from our tarot. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, Okay, you know, even better than the moon, we're getting the chariot, which we love that. We got the chariot. Okay, where's our chariot? Okay, we have our hanged man. Okay, there's our hanged man. Okay, got our hanged man. And we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. All right, we have the Ace of Cups. All righty. So this period of time is definitely emotional, and I think it's fair. You're experiencing a lot of creative energy right now. Okay, you have an opportunity to really explore and get deep with this emotional period. Okay, I feel like there's certainly with this creative exploration, excuse me, there's certainly going to be a lot of things that come up for you, especially because you've chosen to follow this path. You've chosen to let this be. Yeah, you've chosen to let this energy be with you right now. I hope that makes sense here. Um, you've chosen to let this energy into your space. There's the better way of putting it. Okay. And what's beautiful about it is, you know, yes, you have the vision and you have the capability of driving this energy forward, which is beautiful. I'm so happy we got this chariot here. Okay. And with respect to these outside sources, okay, these outside sources, remember I talked about how they were trying to give you some pause in what you're trying to do here. We have the Hanged Man here. So yes, this is emotional. You're bringing up a lot of creative energy, a lot of emotional aspects to this. Okay, but perhaps seeing your situation, seeing the situation from a different perspective might help you as well. You know, whereas before you might have seen these other critics being like, you know, they're saying no, 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 don't do this. You might have seen that as an attack on you. But actually, maybe these outside sources are saying what they're saying because they've been in your place and haven't succeeded. And that's not for you to hold. Okay, their issue with what you're trying to do is for them to deal with. Okay, it's not for you. But you have to understand there's a reason that they're trying to hold you back. Okay, it might not be a very good one, but it's a reason. Okay, um, still though, what I want you to keep in mind is that you have this chariot card, and it's beautiful because this speaks to your ability to make things happen. Okay, so let's get into some more cards. What else do we need to see, please? What else do we need to see? What else do we need to see? Okay, what else do we need to see? Okay. Alrighty, we're going to look at the Queen of Cups. Okay, we're looking at the Queen of Cups. All right. And the Queen of Cups, we have the Prince of Discs in this deck. This is the Knight of Coins. Okay, we have the Knight of Coins. Okay. Alrighty. And we have the Six of Swords. Okay, we have the Six of Swords. Okay. So that's fun. There's a transitional energy here. And I think part of this, well, there's definitely a transitional energy. We're looking at the Chariot, we're looking at the Six of Swords here. We're definitely moving away from things that have disappointed us, have hurt us, have given us some pause. Okay. We're there's a lot of empowering energy coming through right now. And I like to see it. Okay. I really like to see it because we've come from a time where we have felt held back, where we have felt like we couldn't pursue our creative energy because, because like I said, there's outside sources saying, no, don't do this, you're going to fail, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing your opinions. I'm doing this anyway. I'm doing this thing anyway. Once again, I'm doing this thing anyway. Okay. The emotional factor of this is coming through. We have the Queen of Cups, and this is helpful in any creative pursuit that I've done for myself. A lot of it has come from a deeply emotional place, this desire to take what I'm feeling here and put it out in the world so that I don't have to hold it anymore. Okay. And I think some of you are feeling that very strongly right now. Okay. We have energy here, specifically with the cups, that suggests emotion, but also the ability to really go with the flow. Okay. And I think that's borne out by our white owl card as well. Okay. Seeing it, feeling it, experiencing it, going with the flow, using that energy to create something that needs to be in the world. Okay. Hope that makes sense. You're also showing up here as well. Okay. And you have a combination of this water and earth. Okay. So there's this sense of you being grounded in your energy, being very, very deeply grounded in your energy with the Knight of Pentacles, but also you're understanding how that groundedness is helping you navigate your emotions. Okay. The Queen of Cups to me is someone who is deeply passionate. There's a lot of emotion. You feel things so deeply, and that is your superpower. As much as it can create discomfort for you, that is actually a superpower for you because it allows you to see and observe things that maybe other people would miss. Okay. And that also gives you grounding because it allows you to make order of things where there might not have been before. And of course, because this is an earth card, of course it's creative. Of course you're creative. You're showing up in this reading as a creatively strong individual. Okay. Strongly creative individual, I should say. All right. It's a good time. It's a good time to really tap into this. Okay. And again, I think you're doing that in spite of whatever is happening with other people seeing you try and do this work. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Let's move on. Let's see what else we need to see. What else do we need to see? Okay. What else do we need to see? Okay. Give me a second here. Okay. So what else do we need to see? Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So we're going to see the Six of Pentacles. Okay. We're looking at the Six of Pentacles. Okay. Got our Six of Pentacles. Okay. Got our Nine of Swords. Okay. We got our Nine of Swords. Okay. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. We have the Ten of Pentacles. This is lovely. Lovely from the standpoint that your creativity and your ability to see things through the emotion that you're feeling, this is, like I said a little bit ago, that's your superpower. That is something that gives you a lot of I don't want to, a lot of edge. I don't know why I felt compelled to say that, but it gives you an edge in this situation because, again, you see things that maybe other people miss, okay? And because of that, it allows you to be deeply generous in a way that people might not really understand or kind of get right away, right? So you've created this thing and it's like, this is for you. This is for you. Go and experience it as you will. And people are looking at it like, but I don't get it. Okay, I don't get it. That's fine. You don't have to get it. But I'm getting a lot of joy and experiencing a lot of happiness and a lot of happiness from creating this thing. And in fact, I'm getting more energy. I'm in a cycle of giving and receiving this creative energy, okay? Because I'm able to put it out in the world, and your experience of it might not be obvious right now, but I'm still in the cycle of reciprocity and giving, and I have a lot of this energy to give because I'm receiving it back, right? Okay, there's that. But let's address this Nine of Swords, okay? Because this imposter syndrome, this feeling of inability is still kind of there. And for us creative types, it's always going to be there because we're coming to this creative energy from very different disciplines. Okay, I'm saying that because I'm a writer. I like drawing, I like painting and creating like that. I'm not good at it. I wouldn't go to the Louvre and say, hey, put my stuff up. No, no, not there. Will probably never be there, but I still try anyway, even if it flops, right? But where I'm going with that is that this imposter syndrome, this little seed of self-doubt, I think is always going to be within us creatives, even if we see the path forward, even if we know that this is where our energy is meant to go. It is always going to be there, and it is always going to be something that we have to acknowledge and put to the side. Okay. Okay. I think I think I've said my piece on that one. Yeah, right now I'm hearing the thought of just keep going anyway. Like keep going anyway. Okay. Let's see what else we need to see. Whoa, okay. Okay. So we're getting the Five of Feathers. In this deck, the feathers are swords. Okay. So we've got the Five of Swords. Okay. Let's see what else we need to see, please. We have Five of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, we've got the Ace of Swords, Ace of Feathers. Okay. And we have the Ten of Crystals or the Ten of Coins. Here's a repeat card. What is absolutely gorgeous about getting the Ten of Pentacles as a repeat card is that this is speaking to your abundance. Okay, I love the fact that we're getting two cards for the Ace of Coins. You as a person, yes, you're deeply emotional, like we said with the Queen of Cups, but you have creative energy in spades, in absolute spades. And it's not something you can just shut off when someone says no. You can't turn it off. Okay? You can't turn it off. And while this can potentially create other issues, I'll leave that to you to see what those are in your time, right? This is such a deep need to take what you feel in here, to take this creative energy and manifest it out in the world. Okay. Whatever medium you work in, it's fine. Like I said, I'm a writer. But this is so beautiful and so important and so special because you are abundant and you're rooted. We're so rooted in this creative energy. Okay, you're rooted in this creative energy, and even if that seed of doubt is small, it's there. Yes, fine, but don't let yourself go. I would say don't let yourself go there, but you know what? The brain's a weird spot. It's a weird thing. It'll do what it will do, right? Even if you feel that little seed of doubt saying, no, you don't have what it takes. Yes, you do. Duh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have the Ten of Crystals, you have the Ten of Pentacles, both coins, both rooted in the earth, both very, very grounded, practical, creative energy. Note that I said creative energy. This is you. This is you. Okay. This is you. Say it once again. This is you. Okay. Now to our swords. Okay. We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Five of Swords. Pardon me. Okay. You have this Ace of Feathers here, Ace of Swords. There's definitely a new opportunity to go inward and explore. Okay, really explore what this creative energy will mean to you. Okay, this is special. This is so important. Okay, this is special. This is important. I'm gonna say, be careful who you're telling this to. Like, be careful who you're telling your process to here, because we have the Five of Feathers. Now, this is to me, the Five of Feathers, the Five of Swords, is a sort of conflict, okay? And initially I was reading this as the Five of Wands, which is very obviously external conflict, and it could be, okay? There could be some external conflict here. But what you need to be careful of here with the Five of Swords is that you're letting yourself be safe while doing this exploration, because the risk is that you could find something here that basically what I'm trying to say is look at what you have and whether it's worth giving up for whatever you look to achieve. Okay, it's fine that you want to do this. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pursue this creative energy. What's the sacrifice that you might need to make? Okay, think about it. I have a feeling you're gonna try for this anyway, and that's great. I applaud you. Keep going. Okay, just know that a sacrifice might need to be made, and you might not have the things you had before. Okay, again, hope that makes sense. I'm gonna leave you guys to mull that over. Let me know in the comments what you guys have to say on the matter. Anyway, let's go into our hidden energy. Okay, what do we need to see in terms of the energy coming underneath of our main reading? Okay. Alrighty. So we have Justice in reverse. Okay. Justice in reverse. Okay. Justice in reverse. Okay, and we do actually have the Five of Wands coming out. Okay, there's Justice in reverse, there's the Five of Wands. Okay, we have the Page of Wands. Okay, we have the Page of Wands. Alrighty, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Shells. Knight of Cups. Okay, so yeah, there is some external conflict here. I think it's coming from this lack of balance and this lack of understanding of what has got you here to this point. Okay, it is some external conflict, and again, because we're looking at this Five of Wands here, and I think you're being asked to look, pause and observe. Okay, I always take the Five of Wands to be that there's some external conflict, and you're being asked to reflect on whether you need to get in the middle of that fight or whether you step back and observe. And in this case, I think you're definitely being asked to step back and observe, because there's some things that you've done to get yourself here that haven't reflected well on you, on you in specific. Okay, and I think taking some time to pause and observe what those things are for you might help make this creative journey feel a little bit less nerve-wracking. Okay, remember I talked a lot about the seed of doubt, this imposter syndrome. You're being reminded to remember your worth and your right to be in this time here. Okay. But part of that journey is that you need to reflect on the things you've done to get yourself here. Okay. because you may be taking the task for some of the things you've done. Okay, that doesn't mean it's all bad. Okay, that really doesn't mean it's all bad, because again, you're coming up with the Knight of Shells here, the Knight of Cups. So you got your heart on your sleeve in this situation. You really do. You really have your heart in the sleeve, and the heart on your sleeve in this situation. But generally, you're emotionally open, and again, that allows you to be intensely creative. Okay, it allows you to be intensely creative, but you need to also understand that this is a deeply your passions are running high, your inspirations are running high. So how do you channel them? How do you channel them? Okay, this is where I say your preferred medium is going to be beautiful and helpful to you in order to do that. Okay, be safe. Okay, I did talk about balance with the Justice card being in reverse here. Okay, there's a risk. I think there's a risk here to kind of burn the candle at both ends, if you will. You have a lot of projects, a lot of ideas that you want to pursue. This is where, if you are a writer or if you do journaling, this is where writing everything out is going to be particularly important for you, because you don't want to overload yourself. You don't want to overload your you don't want to overload yourself. I'm just repeating it at this point here. But pause, reflect, write it out, get some ideas from here out here, so that way you can pursue the things that are most important to you. Okay, there's our hidden energy. Now let's clarify everything. Here's the cards from our main energy. Let's see what we can do to clarify all of it. Okay, what do we need to see in order to clarify? Okay, so we have the Six of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. Okay, got the Six of Cups. Okay, we have the Tower. Okay, we have the Tower. Well, okay then. Six of Cups, we have the Tower, we have the Three of Swords. Okay, we have the Three of Swords. All right, and we have the Four of Feathers, or the Four of Swords here. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I think we've just hit on why we're seeing a lot of this emotional energy, a lot of this creative energy coming through here. Because we have the Tower and the Three of Swords. Okay. And the word that I heard in my head first when looking at these two cards was dismantle. Okay. There's been a crumbling, there's been a dismantling of the things that may have made you feel safe. Yep. There's been a dismantling of the things that have made you feel safe. And this is why we're being reminded of, remember your self-worth. This is why. Let me bring up that card again. This is why we're being asked to remember who we are, who you are. Remember who you are, okay? Because things have fallen apart in the past. Things have caused you pain in the past. Things might be causing you pain right now, okay? And given that we have a lot of cups cards in this reading, this is deeply painful. This is heavily emotional for you, okay? But it's had to happen. Okay, I think it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to feel comfortable. I don't want you bypassing the fact that it happened and it hurt you, whatever that situation is. Okay, don't bypass that. Okay, that's not going to do you any good. Okay, we do have the Hanged Man. Okay, so eventually and hopefully there will be a chance for you to see the situation from a different perspective. Okay, give yourself time to get there. Don't rush your process. Okay, because perspective comes with healing. Okay, but this dismantling is happening. It has happened in the past. It's happening right now. Okay, and it doesn't feel good. Okay, it hurts. It really fucking hurts. Okay, clearly, it really fucking hurts. Okay, there needs to be a period of rest. Okay, let yourself rest. Let yourself hibernate and sleep. Let yourself be. Let yourself be with your creative energy right now, because there might be a very, very big and important catharsis that comes from whatever you're creating. Okay. All right. And how the Six of Cups comes in, it's, through all of this pain, you might have lost sight of your truth and your personhood and the things that make you wholly and completely you. Okay. This healing process is going to reconnect you to yourself. Okay. To the things that make you happy, even if they don't look the same after this process, this healing process. There's still, you're still seeing you coming through. Okay. You're still coming through, and all of this creating, all of this energy, all of this passion, it will bring you back to the person that you were. Maybe a little bit changed, maybe not looking the same anymore. That's okay. Okay, you have the Ace of Cups. I believe it's the Ace of Cups, which is a new opportunity for spiritual and emotional growth. Okay, and that's what I feel is happening at this time. Okay, that's a lot. Definitely a lot of energy coming through, and I hope that it made sense. Let's pin this for now and get into our bonus reading. Okay, what do we need to see for our bonus reading? Okay, let's see. Okay, to start our bonus reading, we have the Paulina. Okay, we have the Paulina. Okay, we have Citrine, which asks us to bring in the light. Okay, there's Citrine. Okay, we have Citrine. Alrighty, we have Compassion, which says soften your hearts. Yeah, soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. Okay, so there's Compassion. Okay, and we have Ride the Waves, which says life lessons and growth. You will get through this. Okay, so Ride the Waves. Alrighty. So the first phrases that came to mind here were with the Palomino card, we have freedom. Freedom and go with the flow. Okay, this whatever you're coming through right now is certainly bringing in a lot of unknowns, a lot of discomfort, maybe a lot of discomfort. I leave that to you to figure out what you feel about that here. But you're being asked to go with the flow. You're not restrained. You're not held back from anything or by doing anything. Okay. Yeah, go with the flow right now. Ride the wave. Let things come as they will. Okay. And things come as they will because your compassion in this situation, even with yourself. Okay. That's going to be what helps you. I think that's going to be what helps you do your work during this time. Okay. And also, it's going to help you bring in a lot of clarity, a lot of light, a lot of clarity, a lot of hope, a lot of understanding for whatever this situation is right now. Okay. Alrighty. So really quickly, let's see what our tarot is looking like for us. Okay. Oh, hey. Okay. So we have the Hermit, which is perfect for recapping the fact that we have our citrine card, but we'll talk about it here. We have the Hermit. Okay, we have the Hermit. We have the Six of Wands. Perfect. Okay, we have the Hermit. We have the Six of Wands. Okay. We have the Ten of Swords. Which, like, ow, come on now. Okay, we have the Ten of Swords. Okay. Ten of Swords, and we have the Ten of Shells or the Ten of Cups. Okay. So let's talk about this Ten of Swords and let's talk about the Hermit. Okay. I'm going to talk about these two cards together because there's been this need for you to step away from some things in your energetic space. There's been some people, places, things, situations that you've had to kind of put the boundary up around and be like, actually, I need to step away from this. There's something not right for me here, and I need to step back so I can regain some mastery over what's going on. Okay. You'll notice that this character is carrying a lantern, which is why I said it was perfect for this citrine card in terms of bringing in the light. Okay, because you're lighting your own path. Okay, you are lighting your own path. Okay, and it's the time to the stepping away from the toxicity in your energy is allowing you to relight the flame in your lantern. Okay, relighting the flame of your own truth. Okay, and again, regaining mastery over this. Okay, the beautiful thing with this is that victory is yours by doing this. Okay, you have the Six of Wands, which is asking you to accept praise for the hard work you've done. Really, really, it's okay to brag a little bit, be a bit of a humble brag right now. It's okay because you've worked for it, you've earned it. Okay, people are seeing your effort and being like, yeah, actually, this person has it together, right? This person has it together. You have the Ten of Cups as well, which suggests that there is an overflow of emotions and things that you should be proud of experiencing right now. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. You know what? I'm gonna leave it there. I think I've said my piece on the matter. That was our bonus reading. I'm gonna stop it here. Okay, I've talked way too long here. But that is it for this reading, guys. Thank you for watching. If you made it to this point in the reading, I love you guys. I appreciate your support. If you want to see more, you know where to go. You know which buttons to push. So thank you. I love you lots. I will be back next week with a new one. So until then, stay safe, and I will see you very soon. Bye, everybody.